Hello, North Penn. As you may have noticed, North Penn High School has been going through some changes and has been undergoing construction. Today we're here to show you some of the changes and tell you what you need to know. One of the things we need to show you is our new temporary classrooms. Coming through the main entrance, behind me is the Audion. We have 3 classrooms in the Audion. Audion 1, 2, and 3. Audion 1 and 2 are right behind me, and Audion 3 is where the orchestra is. Audion 3, where the orchestra and guitar classes will be directly down this hallway, and you enter the stage directly on the left. This is K-Pod, where most of the construction is still underway. 3rd floor K-Pod is closed. 2nd floor K-Pod has a handful of classrooms that are under construction, but you can still use both of these stairwells. 4 of the additional temporary classrooms are in the auditorium. 4 of them are located directly behind me. 1 and 2 are on my right, and 3 and 4 are on my left. But how do you get into the main auditorium, you may ask? House right of the auditorium is located to the right of the main auditorium doors. How do we get to the left? Auditorium house left can be entered through the F-Pod hallway. As you may see, the auditorium looks a little bit different. Behind me is the backing to the temporary classrooms. For special events, assemblies, and concerts, we'll be using the front of the auditorium as well as the balcony, which provides over 1,200 seats. If you can't tell, this is clearly a construction zone. If you don't recognize it, it's our pool. So to all of you who are dying to get back to your swim classes and are disappointed that you couldn't get back to it the first couple weeks of school, don't you worry, because this will be done in November. An important note for North Monco students is a traffic change. Normally, you'd be exiting through the Senior Cafe exit, but because we're under construction, you'll be using the Columbia Gym as your exit. Once you pass the Columbia Gym, exit through the G4 door and take the path to the stadium. As you walk down to Crawford Stadium, you'll continue on the right behind the scoreboards and walk directly to North Monco.
Where's North Monco?
Right down this path, follow me. A major change for all students and traffic is that AEF Courtyard is closed for construction. So if you have a class in A-Pod and you need to get to H-Pod, you'll have to go all the way around and you cannot come to the courtyard during this time. However, all the exits are open for emergency purposes only. So don't be like Cameron over here who's trying to get through the courtyard. Most of you recognize this space. It's our IMC. However, we have 2 new additional temporary classrooms behind me. If you enter through the main doors of the library, to my right is Library 1 and Library 2. 2 additional temporary classrooms you may have a hard time finding are the classrooms on top of C39. If you walk upstairs to 2nd floor C-Pod, you'll find C139A and C139B. You'll also find Mr. Burger. In the Senior Caf, you'll find the last 4 additional temporary classrooms. This is not where lunch takes place, but where learning takes place. Over here, you'll find Cafe 1, 2, 3, and 4. No Senior Caf? Well then where will I eat lunch? Good thing that there's plenty of space for the scheduled 4 to 7 lunches in the main cafeteria space. However, you will need to use every single last seat. That just means new friends. Hey, can I sit here? Last thing we want to talk about is the traffic patterns outside the building. If you're getting dropped off or you're parking with a parking permit, in the morning, all things will stay the same. However, at night, there's no parking at the back of the building, and for football games or access to the stadium, parking will take place at the front of the building. These are some of the major changes you'll see on the first day of school. However, there are plenty more to come throughout the course of the year. How will I know what's going on? Right here on North Penn Television. Each week on the morning show, we'll tell you guys what you guys need to know and the major changes for the week. I'm Debbie Kundu, and right now, I gotta get back to work.